How you doing, guys? This is Richie. Some more Grendel. Matt Wagner. This is going to be number 7 and number 8. Two great covers by Matt Wagner. 1992. All right. So the usual Wagner, McCoon. Inking assist by Monty Sheldon. Matt Wagner inked this too. So we're continuing the tale of Grendel Khan's son and Grendel Prime trying to escape from being captured or killed. So last issue, they were fighting with the vampires and they got caught and killed. Not killed, just captured. So they have Grendel stripped down and hung up. Now, at this point, he still has most of his upper body, his skin, his face. Later on, in the coming years, he'll be depicted as just eyeballs, a brain, and a spinal cord is all that's left of him. That's human. So, now these are the part of the Grendel resistance, these guys right here, and they don't know what's going on, so they got them strung up. And he's saying, you know, trying to tell them what's going on. And he has a video of Grendel Khan explaining, you know, what Grendel Prime is and this and that. So we flash back to the Grendel Prime, Grendel Khan's wife and the babysitter, security guard, whatever, Slash. So she's getting a little testy, getting a little anxious, and as you can see now, that she starts comforting her, and boom, there it is, what we knew all along. A couple of lesbians falling in love. So Grendel Khan is, through the video, is explaining what he is, and they're all like, well, the voice was right. Could have been a sim. Well, they're some are iffy, some don't want to admit what's really going on. And Prime says, if you continue to doubt, then tell me this. Who else but the Khan would have the resources to create a being such as myself? He's got a point. Would any of you have done the same? My technology, my purpose, the Khan's will has all set this in motion. Why does the Khan's very son follow me without question into the most dangerous areas on planet Earth? And then we got some more lesbian love scenes. So the kid, they have the kid in a separate room, but look, the vampires are coming back for him. And they got him. This chooch, who's trying to weasel his way into power, is kind of struggling to come to grips with what's going on. He's trying to take control, but he's doing it slow and trying to be clever. So here's some great panels here. The shock on the kid's face. And then the vampire that just drank one of the guards' blood. Don't worry, little one, I'm here to take you out. And the kid's fighting back. So the kid's learning. He gets away. But there's other vampires. He doesn't get very far. So the other Grendels are convinced now. But now they know the kid's gone. The kid is gone. Reggie, Malcolm, and Charlie are dead. And they're like, dope. And he starts freaking, you fools with your tribunals and doubts. His only hope is me. I mean, he's frothing at the mouth. He's bugging. Rebuild my body at once. Recharge him. So he's going to get a full charge, and Prime's going to be ready to rip. So they're making this poor sap here commit suicide on live national TV. You know, typical communist regime type stuff. For to speak against the word of the state is to strike against the honor and lives of its people, a transgression we cannot allow. And he can't seem to do it. So this guy was just a patsy that, you know, the public loves a good execution in this time period. And a samurai type guy takes his head off. And her descent into madness is full force. I mean, just the look on her face here tells you what you need to know. So Prime is rebuilt, ready to go. He's charged enough for the moment. Your generators are powerful. And he's asking, how many guys you got? They got a little over 100. 80% are warriors. And they're trying to figure out who the abductors really are, where they are. They're vampires. And they're getting ready to set out. This vampire cult must be very far to the north, Siberia. So they're heading into the winter lands. Doesn't affect Prime because he's mostly machine. But to track people in the snow must be tough. And I almost forgot about this. They're getting attacked by Imperial troops. So not only do they have to deal with the vampires, they have to deal with their Grendel Khan's old squads. But these are resistance guerrilla warfare fighters, and they're going to handle it. So they're blasting away. They're fighting, killing the red Grendels, I call them. Taking out cameras. Another warrior gets shot. But he's still alive, and Grendel Prime's helping him out. Here's a great panel, too. The explosion in the background. Man, I love this old paper. I really wish old comics were on this. I don't know if this is Baxter paper or not. I think it is. So they're getting ready to go hunt down the vampires, and off they go. He's got his little speed cycle there. Vivat Grendel. See, this is good because at the end of each issue, there's information about Grendel. Grendel's a long story. And there's several hardcover books. I think I have most of them. I'm going to start pulling them out and looking through them. So it's a long, rich history of this Matt Wagner just world. Hard looks. Andrew Vox. All right, so that's issue number 7 down. Now we got issue number 8. Great looking cover, another Matt Wagner cover. Tell you, I could still remember when these came out, seeing these on the shelves. Well, 20, 21 years old back then. 92. 91. So here we go, off into the snow. Now they need to... these are the vampires, and their traveling's taking a toll on the kid, and they don't want the kid to die, so they got to feed him. But they're vampires. They're like heartless weirdos, you know? So he gives the kid the spoon, and he stabs him in the eye with it. And he tries to run off, but they get him. They're trying to force feed him so he doesn't die. And back to this guy. Still working the system, still working Lady Con. You know, he's convincing her slowly but surely that her health is in decline and that her mental health is not where it needs to be. And so she's canceling meetings, and it just gives him more of an edge. So he's stepping up where she's stepping down. 2.5 hours they've been tracking. And here come the redcoats again, and they got to fight it out with their own people, basically. And they're taking losses. But with Grendel Prime backing them up, you know, their chances are better than slim. So, here's the two lesbians, and she got a fake mustache on, and they go into this like greasy diner with these tough looking crowds. I guess they're kind of like truckers in the future. And sure enough, they're trying to take advantage because she looks like a little boy. So they were waiting for her in the bathroom. And he says, "Hey, little fella," thinking that's a boy. Tender thing. So they're looking to have their way with her. Then back to Lady Con here. And her health is declining. He's mind screwing her. She's playing with dolls. Like this panel right here. Like dolls of herself. Could you be a bigger egomaniac to have a doll of yourself with a teddy bear? And lunacy is kicking in. And he's giving her the bad news. "I'm afraid your daughter has succeeded in slipping away." And she's just like, she's gone. I'm sure she's all drugged up. And I want you personally to witness the ritual suicides of every member of the guard on duty that night. So she's just killing people left and right, or she wants to anyway, but he's just placating her. Yeah. And here they go. They're still trying to get through. And here's Grendel Prime. Lateral attack. Uh-oh. Fires off a round or screams and causes a landslide. So you got to be quiet in those types of areas. You get caught up in a landslide. And here's the truckers again at the truck station. They're trying to take advantage of this girl. And I like this blue coloring. Gives it that mood of like danger. But the bodyguard blasts them all, and blasts them in a spot that's not too good. So that's tough. So now they got to change their look. They got to get rid of their vehicle, and they got to be careful since they just killed about 5 or 6 people. You know how fire scared I am. So the vampires are scared of fire. The kid's freezing. They got to keep them warm. So they build him a fire, and then they tie him up so he can't go nowhere. But the vampires are scared of fire, so whatever. Prime digs himself out. And back to the daughter of Lady Prime. It goes back and forth every few pages. So, but it doesn't detract from the story. It's actually okay. When you read it, you'll understand it better. And it's just nice, clean, concise artwork. You know, it's very readable. You can tell everything that's going on. This is how it's done. So they're digging everybody out of the snow, and thermazine. I guess that revives people or keeps people warm. I don't know what that is or if that's even made up. So Prime is helping get everybody going. They get a fire lit. And the poor kid is getting beaten on by the vampires. And he actually keeps like a little smoldering piece. Enough of the fun stuff. Let's string him up. So this is how they're carrying him. Because he's pushing back on them. Little bastard's tough. Gotta give him that. And here they are, home base for the vampires. And it's an underground, like an old Russian military site, I guess. And they throw him in a cell. So the thing's still smoldering, what he's got there. And here comes the Grendels, led by Grendel Prime. And this is crazy, because look at this. Down the staircase, when they're coming in, there's bodies hanging everywhere that have been drained. So, like, the vampires decorate their lairs with dead bodies. And he goes, this one looks pretty fresh. And it turns out it is. It's a vampire. It's alive. And right away, as soon as they get in, they're fighting it out. This guy tries to bite Grendel, but he's a machine. He just tosses him. And they have fire, which they hate. Burn like you mean it. That's a great panel here. He's tossing one into the flame. He says, warrior, are you all right? He said, Grendel says, I'm weary, but we must press on. And we get to the last page. Let's go, brat. You got a blind date. And don't say we didn't warn you. Greetings, son of Grendel, enemy of the chosen. And this guy is the leader. Now look at this. Remember Blade, the movie? Tell me Blade, the movie, didn't get the idea from this comic book right here for that big fat thing that Blade killed. I mean, it's exactly it to the T. And next issue, you'll see it a little bit better. But tell me that's not inspiration for the Blade movie. But anyway, Army of Darkness. Wow. Here we have Grendel, number 7 and number 8. Thumbs way up on this series. Get it? If you can find, you'll find this in the dollar bins. Or you can actually, if you go online, the trade paperbacks, I think, are cheap. Like $12. You can buy an old trade. All of the issues in one shot. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.